Welcome, everybody. Welcome to my channel, the Sideline Podcast with Coach Steve. And of course, this is Coach Steve. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this out. If anybody ever wants to get out here and talk any type of football, basketball, track and field, more willing to talk. And, let's keep this rolling. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. If you guys want to be a part of it, let me know and enjoy the channel. Hey guys, welcome back. I was just on a podcast recently and we were talking about some Auburn football. So I decided to break down some of their film. I was able to get my hands on the 2017 Auburn Tigers film. And the first play or the first game that I looked at was when they played Georgia. And, just some of the plays that stuck out to me when I broke it down. And I'd like to share with you all about how they ran it. We all know Gus developed his offense from a wing T system. There's a lot of motions, a lot of shifts, but some of the plays were just very unique to me and stuck out. And we're going to look at them today. So let's get right to it. First play you're going to see is they run on the line side here. They're going to do their buck sweep to the left. That comes from the wing T system, but it's going to be a fake, kind of like a boot out or a naked, because we're going to run buck sweep here, offensive line. You got your left tackle here. He's going to head block on the end here, the nose guard. Since they're playing a 3-4, he's going to take the guy head up. The right tackle is going to do a good job of stepping back and hooking this end. Then you got your left guard and your right guard, running their puck sweep principles. And here in this formation, since they're running a heavy set, you got this H-back that's going to arc and try to get to this end that's on the outside. Your X that's out here on the left, he's going to run kind of like a dig, more of like a capped in or capped out type, but he's going to run it in. Now on your right side, you got your Y and your Z. Your Y here is going to run straight up, it's sort of like a Y cross, but he's going to run it more up the towards the middle up the seam to try to occupy this free safety. The Z over here all the way on the right, he's going to press corner. He's going to center step, get around to try to occupy him. Quarterback and your running back here are going to fake the handoff to this back. Quarterback's going to run out, and he'll hit this X for a nice little gain here, just the way to utilize the buck sweep. So here for you guys watching, you guys can see the formation. You guys that are watching, on the left side up here on the top of the screen, we have our X receiver. He's in close. He's lined up pretty close to the left tackle. You got your H-back right behind the left tackle. You got your quarterback and the gun, and you got your running back offset to the right. Now at the bottom of the screen here, down to the right side of the field, we have our Y who's off the line and our Z who's on the line. And like I said, you're going to see up on the line, you're going to have your lineman run a buck sweep motion. This H-back's going to arc and get the first guy he sees. Quarterback's going to fake to the running back that he could hand it off to this buck sweep. The top receiver, who's really close to the line, he's going to run kind of like a dig route in the middle of the field, but it's going to be more rounded. It's not plant and go. Then you have your Y down here on the screen. He's going to run towards the middle of the field, kind of like you're going to start doing your Y cross, and he's going to shoot up the field to try to occupy that linebacker, and this free safety who's in the middle of the field, try to occupy him. Bottom of the screen, your Z, he's got an easier job. He's going to center step and release to the outside to get this corner's eyes to look at him, to occupy him. Quarterback's going to run like a more of a, if you want to call it a boot, but he's more of a naked because he doesn't have any pass protection. And you're going to see that he's going to hit this guy. So right there's your fake. He rolls out. Boom, right down the field. You guys can see this buck sweep. They both pull. Even this blitzing linebacker is going to get hit by one of the pullers, which occupy that safety or that gap, because this quarterback knows he's got to be protected from D gap to D gap and who he's got responsibility for, or C gap to C gap, who he's got responsibility for. When he fakes and rolls out to the right, he's responsible for any D gap, even though these guys are to occupy him. You can see this guy running down the middle of the field. Hit him. Nice little gain. First down. You guys can see the line here. Churn, boom. You got that blitzing linebacker. Guys blitzing right up the opposite A gap. The backside puller takes them on a little ride. The other puller, he's doing their job. They're all going forward. First down. All right, the next play you're going to see, they get into their wildcat formation where you have your tailback in the backfield and they line their quarterback up all the way out here on the left. Now he won't do anything. Most of the time when they do that, they're not going to go out and run a route or anything, and they don't want anybody to get hurt. Up on the front line, they're around the normal power. So our quarterback's right here on the left. We are X receiver. He's lined up almost even with the tailback about the 5-yard mark. We have our line of scrimmage with our tight end on the line of scrimmage on the right side. We have our H-back lined up directly behind him. Tailback's in the backfield playing quarterback. Then we've got our Z to the right, very, very close to the line of scrimmage, very close to where the tight end is. And what you guys are going to see on the film, or you guys can hear, what the X is going to do is going to motion towards the tailback. Tailback's going to fake handoff to him. Tailback's going to run. He's not going to have the ball, but he's going to go out and block. Our Z on the right side, that's on the line of scrimmage. He's going to block first threat. So there's going to be a free safety over here. He's going to block him. Our H-back that's behind the tight end, he's going to arc release. There's this rover backer that dropped down. He's going to block him. Then just your normal power. Your tight end on the right side is going to block head up to inside. Our right tackle, he's going to take a step inside to get first threat and try to get over to this backer. Our first threat that appears could be this first Will backer or this Mike backer. Your right guard, he's got a guy here as he head up to inside, going to block him. And right here, your center has a real tough block because right now it looks like the guy's almost lined up in between our left tackle and our left guard. So he's got to snap the ball and get out there, but he is going to have help from the left tackle because he's going to take a step in and hinge. So if the guy comes into the gap, he's got him. If the center can get over there, he can get him. Now he's going to hinge here to get him. And then what you're going to see happen is this tailback is going to start running to the middle, but these guys are going to funnel in, and he's going to have to bounce it to the outside. But what's great about what Gus does down there with his wing T philosophy is everybody has to block. Everybody except for the quarterback. So you're going to see when the tailback doesn't get the ball or when the X doesn't get the ball, he's going to go block. Z's going to go block just for this situation. If everything funnels in, he can bounce it back to the outside, which you don't really want. But if he can bounce it to the outside, he can make something happen. So here they're lined up, like I said, on the top of the screen, you got the quarterback doing nothing. We have our lineman down the line of scrimmage. Our Y is on the line of scrimmage with his hand in the dirt. H-back right behind him. Tailback's in the backfield lined up like a quarterback. Directly even with him to the left, you have your other running back or your X that got pushed over there. Then right here on the top of or down the bottom here of the screen is usually where you have your Z. He's lined up close to the line of scrimmage. And like I said, you could see where they're lined up just like I drew up. He's going to arc, get the first guy, or this Z is going to get the first threat. This guy's going to arc and get first threat. Then up front is just power. We're down to first threat to get to this other side linebacker. We're going to hinge on the backside. Center's got to go block, peel up, and you're going to see this running back. He's going to decide to cut it up because everything got funneled to the inside. Motion, fake. He goes to run up, and he's got to bounce it back. They all read everything to the middle, bounced it back, and you see if you keep blocking, he gets a good gain. See, this is why you need to teach your guys to block and keep going forward because you never know what's going to happen. I always tell the whole line, if you're going forward and hitting somebody, the running backs, quarterbacks are going to make you right. Get a little end zone view. You can see we're down, kick up. There's nothing there. He turns to run, and they keep blocking. That's beautiful. Next play we're going to talk about is a running back screen that they don't even need the lineman for. In this one, you're going to see the linemen, they're just going to pass block, just your normal pass blocking. They're going to back up. They're going to slide to what they normally do. Then you're going to notice that the running back, he runs to the line of scrimmage like he's going to block, and then he continues to run out to the right side of the field. So in this trips right formation, you got your Y, your H, and your Z out here. Your X all the way out here on the left, he's just going to go find someone to block to occupy this corner or go find somebody else. But what everybody has to know is this tailback, if you go past the line of scrimmage and go and throw while these guys are blocking, that's probably going to be illegal. So if you watch or know, this running tailback knows where the line of scrimmage is and he stays on that path. So the quarterback's able to throw it here and they get a big gain out of it. These wide receivers, they really get out there and they block for this guy. This is just one of those simple plays and a simple offense that you can do, but you just got to make sure you rep it to know for that tailback's field awareness. So right here, when our trips right, you got your X on the top of the screen here. Down here, you got your Y or your H, excuse me, Y or H, whatever you want to call it. Your Y up the line of scrimmage. H is on the line of scrimmage. Your Z is off the line. You get the running back to the right of the quarterback. Your offensive lineman, they're just going to pass block here and make it look like a normal pass for these down linemen and linebackers. And like I said, this is just really simple. You know, on film, you can see this. If you're listening, you won't be able to see this. But your guys out here, they're off. The corner is really close to his guy. But the safety that dropped down or this rover, you want to call him, comes down. They have to kick a back route. They're all off. So they can run, make a little stutter step, go to block to the linemen, the defensive linemen, the other backers, especially when this top receiver is just running off. To them, it looks like a pass. And then they're going to see this running back get to the line of scrimmage and come straight down. So you can see normal pass blocking. He runs the line of scrimmage. You see where the ball is. The ball is on the 39. He runs underneath to the 37, gets the ball. They're pass blocking. The receivers here on the top of the screen, they're going to the most dangerous guy. So the ball's on the 39. He stays to the 37, gets the ball. Gets about the 40, gets past almost to the 50. Very, very simple play that I don't think a lot of people take advantage of. They want to motion out there and everything to make this look like a pass to the rest of the defense. Keeps them on their toes. As long as you practice it all the time and your running back has that awareness to know where the line of scrimmage is so you don't get a flag for throwing it down the field and everybody else blocking. It's a very simple play that Auburn does, and they do it quite a few times in this game, and each and every time they get anywhere between 8 to 15 yards. One of the next plays we're going to talk about is the split zone screen. Now, you know, a lot of spread teams, even Gus's teams, even though it's based around the wing T, they will run inside zone. So right here, they start out back in their trips right. So right now we have our X on the left side of the screen here. He is out by himself and then trips right, but they have Y is on the line, the Z is off the line here to the right. Then the H-back is literally lined up. His right foot is almost in line with his left foot for the Y off the line of scrimmage. And they use a lot of motions and shifts. So what happens here in this play is you got the quarterback in the backfield, tailback's on the right side. When the play starts, they're going to have this H motion over to the left, line up behind the left tackle. Okay. So we'll get rid of that. Motion him over. Okay. Then they're going to run their split zone. So the offensive lineman up here, they're going to run inside zone to the left. That is what they're doing. They're leaving this right end alone. Quarterback is going to read this. So this could be a handoff or a straight, or we're going to throw the screen. Because normally when you have an H-back and you run zone to his side, it's a split zone. So he's going to run here. He's going to chip this guy. Normally this end is going to sit or run because he is responsible for one of these guys. So he might come out, or he might, excuse me, this end might dive in where, like we all know, his own rate. If he dives in, quarterback's going to keep it and run. If he sits, he's going to hand it off. But here's where you're going to put this end and this backer into a problem. If this H runs, this end sits there, and he notices he doesn't go with this H is going to keep going. Quarterback has a decision to keep it or throw it, and here he throws it to the H. And Gus Malzahn's offense, if they run zone or any type of thing, everybody blocks until they're told otherwise. So when they run an RPO, they are blocking until they hear the RPO. So if they run inside zone right or left, everybody's blocking for reasons like this to set this type of stuff up. So again, these linemen don't get down the field. They're right in their zone. It's a quick throw to the H. and it gets a huge gain for them, and they do this quite a few times in this game. So here you see they have their trips right. Now up on the top of the screen here, you got your Z receiver. Here down here, you've got your Y. He's on the line of scrimmage, and then you almost can see his foot is almost directly right in line with his foot. So you have your H lined up a little bit off, close to the Y. Quarterback, running back in the backfield. Then down here on the bottom of the screen, we have our X receiver. You're going to see, like I said, this H is going to motion over, line up behind the left tackle. Then when the ball's snapped, up front, they're going to run zone. Everybody else is blocking most dangerous threat. This H is going to run back and read this end that's over the right tackle. If this guy can chip and go and there's space, he's going to throw it, or he can hand it off to the running back. So we shift over, we run our split, and he can see that end just sit there. If the end just comes up and sits, he can hand the ball off or throw that. That puts those guys in a bad situation, because you notice right when the ball is snapped and the H is starting to go, up here you got your free safety. He is just way off of everything. He's 12 yards or so away. We got our Z receiver up here blocking. Our Y is going to go block most dangerous man. There's nobody out here. You've got the linebackers in here frozen because they're seeing that it's a split zone and trying to see. This end realizes at the last second, but it's too late by then. So you can see there's grass. Get out there. Those guys keep blocking. They get a huge gain out of it. Watch it one more time. We shift over. That end realizes at the last second when the quarterback keeps the ball. But that's the thing. If that end would have dove in, it still would have been there, but he sat there. So the quarterback has two options to put that guy in a bad situation. So again, it's just taking advantage of what the defense is trying to do. You know, if they're going to try to take one thing away, you come back with a counter to that and try to open something else up. Now, here's the beauty of Gus Malzahn's offense, and once in a while, you know, I'm not saying you have to go up-tempo fast all the time, but here's a good example. You know, the play we just talked about where they're in their trips right, they motion the H over behind the left tackle and run a split zone. So the linemen are running zone to the left. You got your H coming back to the right for that screen. As soon as the play was over, they ramped to the line of scrimmage, and they lined up, and they just flip-flopped the formations. So on the top of the screen here, we've got our Z receiver. The H, instead of being a trips of motion, he is already right behind the right tackle as his H position, that's sniffer. Y is on the left side now, down at the bottom, or near the bottom here. He's on the left, on the line of scrimmage. We got our X at the bottom of the screen. You know, this is a trips right weak type formation where you got your trips to, or twins, excuse me, your twins down to the left. Weak because it's on the H back to go to the right instead of the left. We've got our quarterback and our tailback here. So they just ran a split zone screen. Tempo, they went fast tempo, lined up, just flip-flopped it. Now they're going to run split zone again, and they're going to still have this H back. So now the offensive linemen are going to run inside zone to the right instead of the left. So this H back is going to go to the left. He's going to do the exact same thing he just did. He's really not going to block the end. He is going to chip and go. And again, in Gus Malzahn's offense, every single run play they block until they're told otherwise in an RPO. So then they're going to hand the ball off. He's linebacker. You're going to see on the screen, you're going to see if you're listening, the end is going to come up and follow the H-back. You've got your inside backer here, your Mike linebacker is going to go with them. So now you're going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 5, because this one guy, after immediately what just happened, they got 20-some yard gain out of it. They're going to follow that H-back on that split zone, and they're going to hand the ball off to the running back, and he's going to get a nice hole from his lineman because they get a hat on everybody. So right here, they get lined up very quickly. H-back goes. You can see the H-back is starting to go. And you can see this end is already standing up to sit. This backer is starting to come this way because he can see that this H-back is coming. They don't want to get burned again. They hand it off. There's a nice hole. Break a tackle. You got about almost a 15-yard gain right there. You could see, because look, this backer started here. Now he's over here. The end is here. They don't want to get burned again, but everybody else is blocking. Linemen do a good job of taking their gallop step, taking the right step to the gap to get to the guy that they're supposed to block. Nice little gain. And I want to watch the end zone version of this for alignment's sake. So right now you see when they're going to run zone out here to the left here, we've got about this 5 technique. We got a guy head up the guard. You know, he's in a 3 tech. And to the right side, we got a 3 tech and a 5 tech. So the right tackle is just going to step and take that guy where he wants to go. Our right guard's going to step here and go. Then our center is going to take a nice step to the right for a gallop step to see if there's a threat. That guy, they could do a twist motion. This linebacker could blitz, and he gets a good job of getting to this backer. Our guard's going to take this guy where he wants to go. And the right tackle, he's going to step and come up, but this backer ends up blitzing to the left tackle so he can take him. That makes it easy. It opens up this huge hole right here. Center guy up to the guy, boom, there we go. That's the beauty of inside zone and how it works and how you can go tempo, run the split zone and get them back and gash them. All right, next play is actually very interesting. So here they go back to their, what I would call a twins right strong type call. So here you have your X on the left side, got your line of scrimmage. Your H is right behind the right tackle. You got your Y out here on the line of scrimmage. Your Z is out wide, more to the right. Your quarterback is in shotgun. Your tailback is to the left. So you know that there's a lot of clips we didn't show of the split zone. I showed you a couple, but they ran split zone a ton this game versus Georgia. They keep running a normal split zone or a normal split zone screen. So now, they do a type of reverse because all of their focus, the defense focus is going to be on that H-back and what the line's doing. So here, what will happen is your Z's out here to the right. He's going to do a quick couple step motion, and then he's just going to take off when the ball is snapped. And when the ball snapped, it's actually very unique blocking. So starting with the X, he has a corner right over him. He will not go straight to that corner to block him. He actually goes to the inside to see if this will backer or this one of the stronger free safety comes down to block him. So this is kind of getting to your old school, I don't know if you want to call it rocket or toss, where you get like a crack back in the day, and you have another guy that pulls around to go get this guy. So the H is, so the linemen, excuse me, I'm going to hit myself. So the linemen here are going to do their inside zone to the right. So they're just inside zone right blocking. Nothing changed for them or like a wide zone type blocking. The H-back here, he's going to run to the left like he always does, like on a split zone to block the end. But Auburn during this game has been kind of reading the end and sending this H out to get a screen. Well, instead of that, he's going to run out like a screen to maybe take this end with him to freeze that end. Maybe this corner comes out. I think it's going to be some type of screen again. But this H is actually going to go block the corner that was on the X. Now, again, watching the film, it kind of looks like they meant to do that. But I'm not 100% sure if that's what they're trying to do, but it does look very interesting. Quarterback is going to fake it to the tailback, then he's going to go try to find someone to block. Hand it off to the Z, because when the Z does this quick motion, he is sprinting. Quarterback has the ball. He's going to step over, hand it off. It's not really a crisscross, from the wing tee where you hand it off and hand it to somebody else, but it's more like a reverse. A Y, that's by the Z. Again, it's interesting blocking. He's going to bypass the guy, head up him, and even some of the linebackers, he's going to try to run more this way and pick up a first threat. So maybe if this free safety comes down, he'll try to block him. It's very interesting, but, they keep running split zone, and finally can get this reverse, to try to get a big gain or keep them on their toes. So here, like I said, it's more like a twins right look to me. Got quarterback and tailback in the backfield. Your H-back is right behind the right tackle. Up on the top of the screen here, you have your X receiver. Then down here, you got your Y on the line of scrimmage by the right tackle, who's lined up very close to the line. So that way he can get over to where he needs to block. Now you notice the Z receiver, he lines up pretty far back, but if you keep gashing him, no more worry about the run. They're not really, maybe not pay attention to how he lines up. Okay, right now you got your Z motion. Now you can see they've already started to block. So you got your inside zone to the left blocking lineman. That's what they're doing. The backers kind of freeze because they're so used to the split zone. They know someone's motioning, but is it going to be a fake option? But they kind of freeze for a second. You got your H-back starting to go out, and you try to see this defensive end's eyes. He is looking right at the H-back. You got your X receiver here. He's going to go inside to block to the safety. I think it's because this corner is off of him a little bit. But then you're going to see this H-back go for that corner. So it's almost like a cross block is just taking longer to develop. Quarterback's going to fake it to the running back, churn very quickly, hand it off to the Z that had motion, and they're off. And you can see this blocking. The H-back goes all the way for that corner, and your X is stock blocking, and they get a huge gain out of this. But you can see that end was going for the H. Because at first when I watched this, you know, they're not blocking the end, you would think the H would block him to help with that reverse. But since they've ran that split zone so many times to get that H back, a screen, or just your normal zone, that end, he really wasn't sure what he was doing. You can see right here in the end zone, he's going after him and then realized, oh, someone else has the ball. And if that guy catches your running back or your wide receiver, you've got to find a new guy. The last play I'm going to talk about that really caught my attention, there are so many, but, you know, we'd be here for a long time. But one that really caught me was this next one. So if people don't really know about, you know, Auburn's offense, or, you know, people that don't really know, there was Coach Brett Dearman. He was a offensive assistant at Auburn when they started this back in 2013. He is now the offensive coordinator at Kansas. And this is one of the plays that he had in his book, Evolution of the RPO. And when I was offensive coordinator, I took a play like this that was based off of this and ran it myself. So normally, if you could picture it, you have your X on the left side out here. Then in the back, you got your two-back set. So you got your quarterback, your halfback on the left, tailback on the right. And you got your twins out to the right. So your Y's out here and your Z is out here. Your Y's off the line of scrimmage. So in your air raid terminology, this would be green. Normally, what they would do is they would take their H, they push motion to the right, your Y and your Z would go block for a bubble screen, and your H is running that swing for the bubble. Your lineman, realistically, will be blocking inside zone to the left, opposite of the tailback. Your quarterback will be reading this Mike linebacker. If he goes out with the motion, it's an immediate handoff to the tailback. If he sits, you would immediately throw it to the H-back, and then this X could do whatever you wanted. You could have him block. I know that Auburn and Coach Dearman, and I would do it too, you either have him on a hitch or a slant for an RPO. So pre-snap would be this X. He'd run a slant or a hitch, depending on what you want to do. And quarterback, if he could hit it, he immediately throws it because everybody's going to be looking at this motion. If he's not comfortable, if this Will steps out, one of these safeties drops down, the pass isn't there, it's just not going to work. So here they took a different step. So here we're still lined up the same way with your green or your twins right with the split in the backfield. So they still do the same thing here. Your Z is still blocking like it was a bubble screen. Your H is push motion to the right, still running that swing, but he's faking the bubble. Your Y is taking a hard step or two forward, like he's going to block, because I don't think they ran this play this game. But in previous film, they probably ran this play that I just described. And so to them, if they see the Y out there taking a hard step or two, they're going to think he's blocking, takes hard steps, and then he's going to run back towards the quarterback. Up front is different. Instead of blocking inside zone left, they're all going to block inside zone right. Then quarterback's going to fake it to the tailback, churn back like the reverse from the one that we just talked about and watched, hand it to the Y. The X is going to try to occupy this corner by jogging, running off, going to find someone to block, just occupy somebody. So it's a reverse similar to the play we just talked about, but we're at a different formation, different look. It's based off of a different play that they have in their book. And it does get a good yards, keeps them honest. And, it just shows that you can take different pieces of your offense and do it in different formations and have some eye candy and base it off of different things to make it harder on the defense. So here, we got your split back, your twins down here to the right. So you got your X on the top on the line of scrimmage. Down here, you got your twins, your Y's off the line of scrimmage, your Z's on the line of scrimmage. In the backfield, you got your quarterback, your H back on the left, tailback on the right, and a split back in the shotgun. So like I said, normally they push motion, they're reading the mic. This time, you're going to see this H back push motion. Ball snaps. So right here, I'll have myself. So right here, he push motions. Ball snapped, Now right here, you're going to see this H-back, the ball is snapped. He's going to have his hands up, say, give me the ball for that bubble. As you can already see, everybody is looking towards the H-back. They're looking at the Y and they're looking at the Z. They moved with the motion. So then you're going to see this Y, he's already started. He's going to take a step or two forward, come back for the reverse. Blocking the inside zone to the right up front, leaving that end alone to figure out what he's doing. You can actually see the tailback after the fake goes and blocks the end to help out. The X on the top of the screen, he runs off inside, and that corner follows him, so he just blocks with him. So a hard step, comes back around for the reverse. And they get a nice little gain out of it. You know, even if you get about 12 yards, but even if you get about 5 to 10 yards, it keeps that defense honest. So now you're able to do things like that. But it's just, if you have a simple offense, you're able to do things like that based off of another play, eye candy, and different formations. And that's what Auburn is known for, to get decent plays like this against a good defense like Georgia. So there you go, guys. There was a little breakdown of the Auburn film from 2017 versus Georgia. There were a ton of plays that I wrote down that could have gone over. I just want to go over a few that caught my eye. Wherever you're listening, Spotify, Anchor, please favorite it, follow it. If it's on YouTube, try to give it a thumbs up. Comments below, different questions. Looking for people to interview for the podcast or the videos. So if you're interested, please let me know. So please share this, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for any other videos. I'm going to try to do other breakdowns, maybe some more Auburn. I really want to get down to Washington State when Mike Leach was there and break down some film and go over different plays that I noticed. But thanks everybody out there for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.